Been running this experiment for about 14 years, and essentially it follows the principles of what we call community supported agriculture, where city eaters share the risk with local farmers, but we also we go deeper than that, and just in terms of a transactional nature, we actually look at farmers who are doing really good farming methods like ecological regenerative farming, so they're looking after their soils and providing really nutritious food, and we also invite a lot of our customers out onto farms for farm tours. We create events for community to connect with the people who grow their food so that they develop this appreciation and understanding of how hard it is to farm, but also how precious our food system is and how tenuous it can be at times.
You did a presentation just before about this topic, and you're also running some workshops about getting back to the commons. So what are the commons?
Well, the commons are basically what was available to all of us once upon a time in terms of, access to land, water, fresh air, resources to live. Even land wasn't owned once upon a time. It was actually seen as something that we just look after and we use to further our purposes, day-to-day living and business. But these days, there's been a huge privatisation of all of those things, including water now. So what we're trying to encourage is a bringing back of that commons. So people actually making a stand to actually take back what actually belongs to the commons, which are all those things that we all have a right to access land, a right to, free water, a right to good, nutritious food. So what are the ways that we can do that? Well, one of those ways is facilitating a business model called social enterprise, where the ethics of the commons is embedded into the business model to bring about, common ownership. Yeah.
And David, can you describe some of the benefits of this model, the commons model and the social enterprise?
It involves the community in some aspects of the decision making, but most importantly, it brings them into participating. So it shifts people from being consumers to participants in the food system or whatever it is that they're consuming. So they start to take an active involvement. Where did it come from? Who's being paid? How's it been distributed? What impact does it have? Whatever question. So it's sort of like a starting point for community to become involved in the things that they are involved in. So in effect, it's sort of in the case of food, it becomes about the basic human rights of having food rather than treating it as a commodity, and that's the essential purpose, I suppose, of a social enterprise, is shifting things from a consumption-based commodity to participation around it, the rights of it.
Thank you both. We've covered a lot of ground just in these few minutes. If you were going to give people watching one bit of advice, so one each, that they could go away and start to make a change or do something based around some of the ideas that you've shared today, what would that one bit of advice, and I'll give you one each?
Yeah. Oh, there's so many things. But I think because we're coming up against massive issues relating to the economy and climate change and the like, we really need to start collaborating for good as community members, and the best way to do that is to tap into the amazing resource and sophistication of collaboration that is our First Nations people. So if we can start opening our doors and opening our hearts to learning more about all the amazing things that they have to offer, then I think that is probably the key thing for our survival on the planet.
Yeah, that's a hard one to follow. But the one thing that I've learnt is look at your community as though it's already perfect and has all the answers, it has all the resources, and once you enable that, I suppose that encourage the community to participate at that level, you see them unfold in a more generous way. So that's my bit of advice: is the community out there is already perfect. We just need to take away the things that get in the way of their perfectness.
Thank you both very much for sharing your wisdom today. If you'd like to see more videos from the Power to the People conference, please check for links in the video description.